Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Mind of Grace with Authentically Me and just a tad bit of wisdom. So, I'm going to share a Bible verse first, and I'll just give you the backstory. This is Matthew 7, verse 11. If you then, being evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father who is in heaven give good gifts to those who ask him? I thought about this verse because, believe it or not, I can have sleepless nights thinking about some simple things. I think it's a chronic issue. It's not a good thing, especially since as Christians we're not supposed to worry, right? But I wouldn't even call it worry. But it's just that I can't shake things and take them off my mind to go to my bed, like certain things. So something simple as I am not a shopaholic. I'm not one of those people, but when I do go somewhere, so for instance, I need to go shopping for something that I need, like an upcoming trip or something. I may go, and because I want to make sure I stick to my list at that appointed time, I go in, I may see something that was on my list like before and need as well. But because I didn't go into the store for that per se, and I want to say I'm so disciplined, I end up leaving without it. This time I did it again, and I thought to myself, I really needed that bag. And not just it's a bag, a travel bag, something that I had one before, but it's basically the one I have is not new anymore, as in not new, but the one I have is not it's not workable anymore, so it's something that I needed. But because at that a point in time when I went in there, I'm thinking, no, Jordine, I need to come back out anyway. Long story short, I came home and I realized I needed that bag because I have an upcoming trip and I need a travel bag. Anyway, I could not sleep because I know that these particular stores, once you have something like that and the cost was drastically cut, the chances of you going back and seeing it is very slim. So, of course, me and Jesus had a conversation, and I reminded him of what he says about his children. And I also said to him, me and him strike a deal where I basically said to him, you are going to show me how you care for me with the simplest requests. Something so simple that he didn't even have to answer it. But because he wants to, I wanted him to show me how much he cared for me in making sure that, and mind you, it was only that one bag that was there, and a day had already passed. Many people have gone through those doors already. And you know what? That was a deal that I made with the Lord. And I always hear people talk about these things, and I think how presumptuous they are, and how do they do that and, get away with it and stuff like that. But that all has to do with how we view God, as our Father. But that's another topic to explore another time. But I also told the Lord that I would make sure I bring this on my podcast because these simple things, it sounds trivial, but it's through these trivial, simple things that God shows up. Because I went back more than a day after and that bag was still there. And I have this problem where I can be very indecisive. And I came home with the bag. I liked the bag. My brother liked the bag. It's a nice functional bag that I would need and I will use for years. But I thought that I may have to carry it back, because at this point in time I'm thinking maybe I don't need to use that money now. But although I know that I'm going to use a bag, no, But then it reminded me that this will be a point where every time I look at that bag, I remember how much God cares for me. He cared for me so much to prove to me that the simple things He is in. And if He could answer that simple prayer of mine and allow me to rest and sleep well, even though no say stupidness why I would be up so long, so late, can't sleep, it's ridiculous. But He honored that request that I had, for whatever reason, for the reason that He wants me to continue to trust Him. Because at this time too in my life, I oftentimes feel like He has forgotten me. But I think He knew I needed that simple request to be answered, to just show me how much He cares. And also, in the Bible it says that the birds are being taken care of. How much more would He take care of us? I mean, come on, we're His children. So while I reflect on that scripture and the scripture before that I opened with, my encouragement to you is that God still answers prayers, and no matter how trivial we think it is, we're His children. We're His children, and once He sees that we want to do the right thing, we want to walk in His will, trust me, He'll always be there. It may just not be the time that you want, but He's always there. And as I said, it's a simple story about this bag and Jordine and our indecisiveness and can't sleep. But trust me, if you ever knew how much it made me trust God more with these bigger things in my life, or just because at this point in time in my life, I don't know where I'm going to be next month. I don't know where I'm going to be at the end of the year when it comes to anything, career, relationship, nothing. I do not know where I'm going to be, but that simple request that God answered for me made a world of a difference in just trusting Him and trusting Him more. I mean, it's not even just an analogy, something that happened to me just the other day. And maybe it be an encouragement to someone listening. But again, it sounds like simple things, but trust me, God is still at work. And as I always say, take delight in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. See, just one little desire. Psalm 37 verse 4. Just keep that in mind. Until next time, take care.